Hey everyone, welcome back to SwitchTop. Today, we're looking at 15 games on the Nintendo Switch that are straight up perfect. Games that deserve a perfect 10 out of 10 score. These are the titles that show what the Switch can really do, and they're games you absolutely need to play if you own the console. Let's jump right into it. Paper Mario: The Thousand-Year Door on Nintendo Switch is a masterclass in turn-based RPG design that seamlessly blends strategy, humor, and charm. Players guide Mario through a vibrant, paper-crafted world filled with imaginative towns, intricate dungeons, and memorable characters, each with their own personality and quirks. Combat is turn-based but highly interactive, rewarding timing and tactical use of badges, items, and special moves to exploit enemy weaknesses. Outside battles, exploration is rich with puzzles, hidden collectibles, and environmental interactions that feel clever without ever slowing the pace. The story unfolds with a perfect balance of humor, heart, and mystery, drawing players into a larger adventure while leaving plenty of surprises along the way. Visually, the paper aesthetic is polished to perfection, making every location distinct and every character expressive, while the soundtrack complements the action with memorable, atmospheric themes. It's a game that respects the intelligence of its players, offering depth, challenge, and charm in equal measure, making it a standout title on the Switch. Mario Kart World on Nintendo Switch 2 is a stunning reinvention of the kart racing formula, expanding the series into a vast, interconnected world where players can seamlessly explore diverse environments between races. Tracks flow naturally from bustling cities to lush plains, snowy mountains, and volcanic landscapes, making each race feel dynamic and unpredictable. The gameplay remains deeply satisfying, combining precise kart handling with new mechanics like wall jumps, rail grinding, off-roading, and versatile vehicle choices, including boats and snowmobiles. Combat items are as strategic as ever, and the expanded roster of over 50 characters adds layers of personality and replayability. Beyond racing, the world itself feels alive, with dynamic weather, day-night cycles, and interactive shortcuts that reward exploration and experimentation. The soundtrack, featuring over 200 tracks including reimagined classics, elevates the experience, blending nostalgia with fresh energy. Mario Kart World balances accessibility and depth, delivering a thrilling, endlessly engaging racing adventure that sets a new benchmark for the franchise.
On the time of day and weather conditions, the atmosphere will change. And in this Mario Kart game, you can go off the racetrack and drive
Hollow Knight: Silksong on Nintendo Switch is a masterfully crafted Metroidvania that expands on everything that made the original Hollow Knight so compelling. Players take control of Hornet, navigating the hauntingly beautiful kingdom of Farloom, a world teeming with hidden paths, challenging foes, and intricate environmental puzzles. The game emphasizes agile, fluid combat, requiring players to combine precise movement with strategic use of abilities and tools to overcome over 100 unique enemies and formidable bosses. Exploration is richly rewarding, with a dynamic quest system, secret areas, and collectibles that encourage careful observation and experimentation. The hand-drawn art style brings every corner of Farloom to life, from moss-covered caverns to glowing citadels, while the atmospheric soundtrack perfectly complements the sense of wonder and tension. With its balance of challenge, depth, and discovery, Silksong delivers an immersive experience that stands as one of the most engaging and polished action-adventure games on the Switch. Dragon Quest XI-S, Echoes of an Elusive Age, tells the story of a young man who discovers he's the Luminary, a legendary hero reborn, but gets branded as a darkspawn by the king and must go on the run with a growing party of companions. Your journey takes you across the massive world of Erdrea as you try to understand your destiny while being hunted, eventually uncovering a plot involving ancient evil and time itself. The turn-based combat is classic JRPG style, but refined. You control up to 4 party members who each have different skill trees you can develop based on whether you want them as attackers, healers, or support characters. The pet power system activates special combo moves when characters get pumped up during battle, adding an extra layer of strategy. You can switch between 3D graphics and a gorgeous 2D mode that makes the game look like a 16-bit classic. And both styles play identically, so it's purely about preference. There are tons of side quests, minigames like horse racing and casinos, and a crafting system where you forge equipment on a minigame forge.
Fight and fight some more!
Donkey Kong Bananza on Nintendo Switch 2 is a standout 3D platformer that blends exploration, creativity, and action in a way only Donkey Kong games can. Players take control of Donkey Kong as he journeys through vast, dynamic environments alongside Pauline, tackling intricate platforming challenges and uncovering secrets hidden throughout destructible landscapes. Each character brings unique abilities to the table. Donkey Kong's strength allows him to smash obstacles and manipulate the environment, while Pauline's musical powers enable transformations into different animal forms, each with specialized skills that open up new paths and strategies. The game emphasizes freedom in movement and problem-solving, encouraging players to experiment with the world rather than follow linear routes. Combat is seamlessly integrated with exploration, requiring timing, agility, and clever use of abilities to overcome diverse enemies. Coupled with vibrant, richly detailed visuals and a lively, immersive soundtrack, Donkey Kong Bananza delivers a rewarding, polished experience that balances challenge and discovery, making it a must-play for platforming enthusiasts.
Metroid Prime Remastered brings the groundbreaking GameCube first-person adventure to Switch, with completely overhauled visuals that make it look like a modern game. You play as bounty hunter Samus Aran, investigating a distress signal on the planet Talon 4, where you discover the remains of an ancient Chozo civilization, and the dangerous space pirates conducting experiments with a mutagenic substance called Phazon. The first-person perspective puts you directly inside Samus's helmet, with environmental scanning that lets you learn about the world's history and enemy weaknesses. Combat combines shooting with puzzle-solving and platforming. You'll fight alien creatures and space pirates while navigating complex environments that require specific weapons and abilities to access. As you explore, you'll gain iconic upgrades like the Morph Ball that lets you roll through small passages and drop bombs, the Grapple Beam for swinging across gaps, and various beam weapons that each work differently against certain enemies. The world design is interconnected Metroidvania style, where new abilities open up previously blocked paths, encouraging backtracking and exploration.
See the world through Samus's eyes and fight.
Hollow Knight drops you into the decaying underground kingdom of Hallownest as a small, nameless knight with just a simple nail weapon and the drive to explore deeper. The story slowly reveals itself through environmental storytelling, brief NPC conversations, and lore tablets, as you piece together what destroyed this once great civilization, and what role the infection spreading through the kingdom plays. Combat is challenging and deliberate. You swing your nail to attack, and can learn spells that consume soul energy you generate by hitting enemies,
with the choice to either use that soul for healing or powerful offensive magic. The world is absolutely massive, with distinct areas like the Fungal Wastes, Crystal Peaks, and Deep Nest, that each have unique enemies and atmosphere, all connected in ways that constantly loop back on themselves. You'll find charms scattered throughout the world that you can equip in limited slots to modify your abilities, like increasing your nail range, adding new movement options, or changing how spells work. Bosses are tough and require learning their patterns, with optional challenge bosses for players who want to really test their skills.
Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is the complete version of the Wii U game with all DLC included, plus new features that make it the definitive kart racer. You're racing through 48 tracks right out of the box, with the Booster Course Pass adding another 48 tracks from across the series' history, giving you nearly 100 courses total. The anti-gravity sections, where you can drive on walls and ceilings, create tracks with wild layouts that wouldn't work in normal racing games. And bumping into other racers in anti-grav gives you both a speed boost, which leads to aggressive jockeying for position. Battle mode has been completely rebuilt with dedicated arenas instead of being on racetracks. And there are 5 different battle types, including Balloon Battle and the new Renegade Roundup, where one team plays as cops trying to catch the other team. You've got 42 characters to pick from and tons of kart customization options, with different combinations affecting your speed, acceleration, and handling stats. The item system is balanced, so you get better items when you're further back in the race, keeping things competitive. And the new double item boxes let you hold 2 items at once for more strategic play. Persona 5 Royal puts you in the shoes of a high school student in Tokyo who gets falsely accused of assault and put on probation, forced to transfer schools and live in the attic of a coffee shop. You discover the ability to enter the metaverse, a world formed from humanity's twisted desires, where you and your friends become the Phantom Thieves, who steal corrupt hearts to reform evil adults. The game splits time between dungeon crawling in elaborate palaces that represent each villain's distorted view of the world, and daily life, where you build relationships with friends and confidants while managing your limited time. Turn-based combat is all about hitting enemy weaknesses to knock them down. Get all enemies down, and you can do an all-out attack for massive damage. Plus, you can negotiate with demons to recruit them as personas that give you different abilities. The social link system means spending time with people unlocks gameplay benefits, like new Persona fusion options or battle abilities, so building relationships directly makes you stronger.
Persona! Go down!
Cyberpunk 2077 Ultimate Edition on Nintendo Switch 2 delivers one of the most immersive open-world RPG experiences available on the platform. Players step into the shoes of V, a mercenary navigating the sprawling, neon-drenched streets of Night City, where every choice has consequences that shape the narrative and the world around them. Gameplay combines first-person combat, stealth, hacking, and deep character customization, allowing players to tailor cybernetic abilities, weapons, and playstyle to their preferences. The Ultimate Edition includes the Phantom Liberty expansion, adding new storylines, locations, and high-stakes missions that expand the already vast city. Exploration is richly rewarded, with dynamic encounters, hidden side quests, and a living, reactive environment that feels alive and unpredictable. The Switch 2 version incorporates motion controls, gyro aiming, and touchscreen support, giving players multiple ways to engage with the game.
Scan us and check our papers.
Monster Hunter Rise takes the series' addictive loop of hunting giant monsters and crafting gear from their parts, then refines it with incredible mobility options that make hunts feel faster and more dynamic than ever before. You play as a hunter, protecting Kamara Village from the Rampage, a catastrophic event where hordes of monsters attack simultaneously, and you'll need to hunt increasingly dangerous creatures to craft better weapons and armor to take on even bigger threats. The wire bug is the game changer here. It's a grappling tool that lets you zip around environments, launch yourself into the air for aerial attacks, and perform special Silkbind moves, unique to each of the 14 weapon types, completely changing how you approach combat compared to older games in the series. Each weapon plays totally differently, whether you're using the massive greatsword for slow, devastating hits, the technical charge blade that transforms between sword and axe modes, or the ranged bow for mobile attacks from a distance. You can bring 2 animal companions called Palamutes and Palicos that help in combat and let you ride them around the map, making traversal way less tedious.
Hades 2 on Nintendo Switch 2 is a phenomenal roguelike action RPG that perfectly balances fast-paced combat, strategy, and storytelling. Players control Melinoe, the daughter of Hades, as she attempts to escape the underworld while facing a host of powerful enemies and mythical challenges. Combat is fluid and highly customizable, allowing players to choose from a variety of weapons and abilities, while boons from Olympian gods alter each run, creating unique and dynamic gameplay experiences. Beyond combat, exploration and decision-making are richly rewarding, with secrets, shortcuts, and branching paths encouraging repeated attempts. The story unfolds gradually through meaningful interactions with a cast of gods, mortals, and monsters, deepening the world without overwhelming the player. Visually, the game's handcrafted art style is striking, and the smooth performance on Switch 2 ensures every battle feels responsive and immersive. Hades 2 combines challenge, depth, and narrative finesse, making it an essential experience for any fan of action RPGs.
For what you did to me.
Xenoblade Chronicles 3 puts you in control of 6 soldiers from 2 nations locked in an endless war, discovering they've been manipulated, and setting out to break the cycle of conflict, while searching for a mysterious place called the City. The world of Ionios has a dark rule. Everyone's lifespan is limited to just 10 years, and soldiers gain life by defeating enemies, creating a brutal system where war is the only way to survive. Noah and Mio, the main protagonists from opposite sides, can hear each other's off-seer flute songs that send off the dead, forming a connection that brings their groups together when they're attacked by a mysterious figure. The real-time combat lets you control one character, while AI handles the others, with each fighter having a specific role, like attacker, defender, or healer, and building up arts by auto-attacking to unleash powerful skills. The interlink system lets pairs of characters fuse into massive Ouroboros forms, with completely different movesets and devastating power, turning the tide of tough battles. Super Mario Odyssey sends Mario on a globe-trotting adventure across kingdoms with completely different themes, from the realistic New Donk City with its human inhabitants to the colorful Luncheon Kingdom made of food, all to stop Bowser from forcing Peach into marriage. Early in the game, Bowser destroys Mario's cap, leading him to team up with Cappy, a sentient hat whose sister was also kidnapped, and together they chase Bowser's airship across these diverse worlds. The capture mechanic is the core innovation,
throwing Cappy lets Mario possess enemies and objects, taking control of everything from Goombas and Bullet Bills to T-Rexes and even things like electrical wires and manhole covers, with each capture having unique abilities that change how you navigate levels. Each kingdom is a massive sandbox filled with power moons to collect, with over 800 total moons hidden through clever platforming challenges, environmental puzzles, talking to NPCs, or just exploring off the beaten path. Mario's moveset is expanded with new tricks, like the cap throw jump, where you bounce off Cappy midair to reach distant platforms. And chaining moves together creates a fluid sense of movement, where skilled players can cross kingdoms in creative ways. The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild is a defining experience on the Nintendo Switch, an open-world adventure that reshapes what exploration and discovery mean in gaming. Players step into the role of Link, awakening in a vast, decaying Hyrule and setting out on a journey defined entirely by curiosity and choice. Every mountain, forest, and ruin on the horizon can be reached, and every encounter offers multiple solutions, whether through clever use of physics, stealth, or sheer determination. The game's mechanics intertwine seamlessly. Climbing, gliding, crafting, and combat all work together to reward creativity and resourcefulness. Shrines and environmental puzzles serve as compact tests of logic and experimentation, while the wider world invites moments of quiet wonder and unexpected danger. Its minimalist storytelling leaves room for personal interpretation, allowing exploration itself to become the narrative. Supported by a serene, understated soundtrack and painterly art direction, Breath of the Wild stands as a rare blend of freedom, immersion, and emotional resonance.
So those are 15 perfect games you can play on Nintendo Switch right now. Each one of these titles delivers an incredible experience that shows why the Switch has become home to some of the best games ever made. Let me know in the comments which of these you've played, and which one you think truly deserves that perfect 10 score. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button and subscribe to SwitchTop for more Nintendo Switch content. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.